As Jacob's life drew to a close, Joseph brought his two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, to receive their grandfather's blessing. Joseph positioned Manasseh the elder under Jacob's right hand for the primary blessing, but Jacob crossed his arms, placing his right hand on Ephraim the younger. Joseph tried to correct him, but Jacob insisted, saying, "I know, my son, I know. Manasseh will also become great, but his younger brother will be greater." This moment showed that God's blessings often defy human expectations. Jacob also blessed Joseph, reminding him of God's covenant with Abraham and Isaac, and the promise that one day God would bring their descendants back to the land of Canaan. Before his death, Jacob gathered his 12 sons and spoke prophetic words over each of them. These blessings and sometimes reprimands were based on their past actions and future destinies. Some highlights include Judah. Jacob likened him to a lion and prophesied that kings would come from his line, ultimately pointing to the one Messiah. Joseph received a rich blessing symbolizing fruitfulness, strength, and divine favor. Reuben, Simeon, and Levi faced rebukes for their past misdeeds, showing that actions have lasting consequences. These blessings were more than family farewells. They pointed to God's unfolding plan for the 12 tribes of Israel. After blessing his sons, Jacob passed away at the age of 147. Joseph, grieving deeply, ordered Egyptian physicians to embalm Jacob, a process that took 40 days, and the Egyptians mourned him for 70 days. Joseph sought Pharaoh's permission to bury Jacob in Canaan, as Jacob had requested. Pharaoh not only agreed, but allowed a grand funeral procession with Egyptian officials, chariots, and horsemen to accompany Jacob's body. Jacob was buried in the cave of Machpelah, alongside Abraham, Sarah, Isaac, Rebekah, and Leah, a powerful reminder of God's covenant promises tied to the land of Canaan. After Jacob's death, Joseph's brothers feared that he might seek revenge for their past betrayal. They approached him with humility, asking for forgiveness. Joseph's response is one of the most profound moments in Genesis. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." This statement reveals Joseph's deep understanding of God's sovereignty, even through hardship. Joseph lived to be 110 years old, seeing his great-grandchildren and continuing to honor God. Before his death, Joseph made his brothers swear to carry his bones back to Canaan when God fulfilled his promise to bring them out of Egypt. This act of faith pointed forward to the Exodus and the fulfillment of God's covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.